Called to order the Fairweather County Board of Commissioners, March 9th, 2026, 6 p.m. meeting. Please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. Please stand while Adam Worthy gives the invocation, followed by the pledge.
Lord, thank you for the opportunity to come together and do the work of the county, and that we will glorify and honor you in this work. I ask that we keep us with a civil mind and working in unity to improve the lives and the livelihood of everyone in this county. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'd like to adopt the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, sir. John's gonna have two changes. I have one. Mine's very simple. If you look under the public hearing case number P226, it should be 004, not 044. So just take out a 4, please, and add a 0.
Any other changes?
Yes, sir. On a new business, number 10, mulching head for HX85 T-Sploss. Mulching head for HX85 T-Sploss. And then number 11, consideration for a work session with Airport Authority. No other changes.
Make a motion to adopt.
All in favor? Presentations,
No, sir.
finance report, Ms. Lackey.
Yes, sir. Commissioners, on the first page are the bank balances as of this afternoon. And you can also notice that there's an additional line for the 2026 SPLOST now. Because we opened up that new bank account. Listed at the bottom of the page are the lost SPLOST and T-SPLOST distributions we received for February. And on the second page, the balances for the SPLOST account is a negative 70,000, and the T-SPLOST balance is 1,128,000. That's
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to point out when we did a work session, the fire district bond that's currently at 666,145.34. We have made that payment. We just got one more interest payment for about 40,000. That'll leave about 625 into that bank account. And that will be
That number one more time.
666,145.34. And after the
Will it be balance left of what, like
625, somewhere around 625,000 plus whatever we get from tax commissioner as a increased command. So we'll be close to looking at putting an RFP for that Primrose Fire Station.
And I know this shows the fourth quarter tipping fees. Do you have it on hand what the total tipping fees were for the whole year? I had someone ask me the other day, so I can. Where's that? No, you don't have to do it now, but maybe.
It looks like it's according to what the IDA gave us earlier, 1.739 million for the year.
Yes, I think Ms. Sharp did reach out for the current tipping fees for the year.
But I think that would be total. That can't be little over 1.7 million has to be for the life of the landfill.
That's 2025.
That is.
That's for calendar year 2025.
Okay.
No, that's just the
It would
county.
only be a million. This is 1.7.
That's just the county portion. Water and sewer has a different.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, 1.7 million.
Got it.
The
That's
500,
the county portion.
correct. The 508,000 that we received fourth quarter was the biggest check that we got for 2025.
I can call you back and find out what it was for the water sewer.
Yes, sir. It should be on the same email that Commissioner
No, it
Wood-
just says total tipping fees for the Turkey Run landfill. Turkey Run landfill tipping fees, 1,739,465.21.
We can get a number to you exactly. The precise number for the water.
Circular land.
I don't want to hold nothing up. I thought you had it in front of you and it rung a bell with me. Somebody asked me last week and I told her I'd get back with them. So
1.7 sounds about right. We've been getting around 400,000 a quarter, and with 500,000,
Okay.
the 1.7 sounds correct.
that'd be great. Thank you.
Department heads. We have any department heads to speak?
Ms. Stevens.
Have two announcements. I'll just go ahead and get them done under department head. Just want to let the board know that we received information from the Department of Family and Children's Services, in with Family Connections. It's going to be a Meriwether Child Safety Collaborative meeting on Tuesday, March 17th. It's 10 a.m. to noon at the, Meriwether County Board of Education boardroom. There's going to be information on sharing resources from DFACS, Family Connection, Resilient West, Resilient Georgia, and Handle with Care Initiative. Just want to invite the board to that. Also, I received a invitation for the board. It's basically the Greenville Senior Center, would like to warmly invite the officials of the county and the city governments to join them for special coffee and donuts with seniors. It's a gathering they're going to be doing on April the 7th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Greenville Senior Center.
Can you forward that email?
Yes,
Thank you.
that's all.
Any citizen comments?
No, sir.
Move on to minutes. Anybody have a chance to read over the minutes?
There's a change.
Oh.
We need to correct the typo. We got a wrong last name. So under present, I'll change that. It should be Commissioner Worsley instead of Commissioner Adamthregill. So we'll take care of that change. Other than that, if you guys found anything, please let us know.
We didn't get married up all of it.
The one thing I did check was the title.
I make a motion to adopt the minute, Chairman.
Second.
All in favor? Now, public hearing. Case number PC 26-004, request from Robert Williams to close approximately 4,144 feet of Dobson Road, beginning at the southern corner of 2171 Dobson Road and extending north to the corner of 969 Dobson Road.
I make a motion.
to go into a public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Good afternoon. The Building Design Department has received an application requesting the closure of a portion of Dobson Road. It is approximately 4,144 feet. Upon reviewing the submitted documentation and conducting an on-site inspection of the roadway, I understand the concerns expressed by the adjoining property owners and find that the closure of the portion of the road appears to be justified. I've also contacted each department, the road department, 911, fire department, and the sheriff's department. The only one who responded was the road department, and Brian is here to discuss that. Upon review and observation, there are large rocks outcropping along the roadway, significantly difficulty for routine maintenance for the road department. The road contains steep grades that hinder proper compaction and long-term maintenance. During periods of heavy rainfall, the bridge located on this portion of the road becomes impassable. The bridge has been evaluated by GDOT, and it's in your packets, and it's been rated as being poor and structurally deficient. It proposes safety concerns for vehicle traffic, particularly the emergency vehicles, such as fire trucks, which has not accessed that bridge in many years. All affected property owners would continue to have reasonable access to the properties via the remaining open portions of the roadway. Should the road be closed, it would be recommended that the closure be named North Dodson on the upper side and South Dodson on the lower side for 911 clarity. And I have both the applicant and the road department here if you have any questions.
I have a question before we go forward with it. You said that all entities had been contacted and Public Works is the only one that responded.
Correct.
Does our ordinance not state that there must be there's a checkoff list that's very specific for this from 911, sheriff's office and all? I thought that they all had to go in and do a checkoff before this could be brought before public.
I've reached out to each one of them with no.
But if they haven't, does our ordinance state that they shall? That's the only issue that I would have of moving forward in a public hearing, is if it does state that those entities must do a checkoff and advise.
Honestly, I don't know if the word shall is in that or not. I'd have to look it up.
I'm pretty sure we passed it, that it had to be done
I agree.
for consideration.
And it's a very important part of the process.
Yeah.
Legally.
Do you remember, Nathan? I know you were here when we did.
Not.
Yeah, there was a
That
check off.
doesn't mean anything.
Right.
You tell what it is.
There was a checkoff list. We had to have it for 911, fire, EMS,
I'll look it up
all
on.
to check off and see.
So we need to
I think
continue the public hearing until he can give us.
I may be wrong. It may not be an ordinance, but I thought for some reason that
she's
it
pulling it up here for
Okay,
us. I know I have to contact each one.
right. And I thought they had to respond according. Don't mean to interrupt it, but rather be safe than sorry.
No, that's fine.
The county shall request input from county sheriff's office, all public safety departments, E911 and public works, and consider any comments received from those departments in making the decision.
I know it's a shall request, but if we didn't receive input, I don't know if we can really move forward. Nathan?
Well, I mean, she's met the ordinance, but that's the board's call.
Right.
If you want to move forward or not. I mean, I haven't read the
Yeah,
ordinance,
right.
but what she just said would, I don't know what the board intended. You know what I'm
Right.
saying it'd be straight legal interpretation, but I mean, there's no reason the board cannot continue with the penalty.
Hold on one second.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, it says shall request.
Okay.
And consider any comments received.
Okay.
So you can continue, if that's important to the board could say, we want to hear what the other departments have to say. I mean, it's your public hearing.
I just wanted to make sure that we fit within what it was and it answered.
Chief Stevens is not here anymore. is
No, sir.
What do y'all think?
I hate to do this to Mr. Williams, but I would be in favor of continuing this public hearing until the next meeting and give us time to get feedback from sheriff, E911 and fire. In my opinion, it's very critical for a legal stance. I mean, I would hate to vote if we did to close the road and then come back with feedback from them that we need it open.
And yes, they are our department heads, and yes, they should have responded, but I would feel safer and more apt to hear the entire request if we had input from them.
Do you want to do it, you said April, or do you want to do March 24th would be the next meeting?
24.
March 24th.
So I'll put that in form of a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Do we need to come out of public here? Or just,
Yeah, I'm assuming that's coming along.
yeah, it is. We need to come out of it.
So I'll make a motion to come out of the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
And I'll contact the county.
We don't.
I thought if we're continuing, we don't come out of it, do we? We just,
Well, that's a good point, but yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Vote to continue the public hearing,
And then we'll,
and then you go on to the next matter. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I didn't think.
All right, so scratch that.
Scratch it, okay.
Make a motion to continue.
That way you don't have to re-advertise.
We made the motion to continue.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
There we go.
There we go.
Next on the list, appointments. Appointment for camera ready license for Meriwether County.
Getting there, commissioners. Commissioners, Meriwether County participates in the Georgia Department of Economic Development's Camera Ready program. It assists film and television productions in identifying potential filming locations throughout the state. Each participating county designates a liaison who serves as the primary point of contact for the program and for film location scouts seeking information about the county. For many years, Ms. Beth Neely Hadley has served as Meriwether County's Camera Ready liaison and represented the county in this role. Ms. Neely Hadley has expressed that since she has not served on the Board of Commissioners for several years, it would be more appropriate for someone currently connected with the county to serve as the liaison moving forward. The Georgia Department of Economic Development has advised that the liaison should be someone working with the county in an official capacity, such as tourism, economic development, or another county-related role. The liaison is responsible for communicating with the Department of Economic Development and assisting visiting film location scouts with information about potential filming locations within the county. Staff is requesting board discussion and appointment of camera-ready liaison to represent Meriwether County in the Georgia Department of Economic Development's Camera Ready program. Would be up to the board. I know that Vice Chairman Snelson has interest in that role.
Make a motion to appoint Jennifer Snelson.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
You didn't get to say that, did you?
Thank you very much.
Unfinished business. Approval of grant writing proposal from Ms. Tara Coe. This item was tabled from the February 24th, 2026 regular meeting.
Commissioners, I request that this be tabled until March 24th meeting. I still have not received an email response regarding the contract that legal revised.
I make a motion to move to March 24th.
Second,
All in favor?
should we move on to a different grant writer?
There was a family emergency that she texted me today and told me that they're at the hospital with, and it's been a long drawn out process that she wasn't expecting.
Okay.
All right, new business. Number one, confirm approval to close Massengale Mill Road Bridge and only allow local traffic.
Commissioner, staff requests approval to close Massengale Mill Road Bridge to through traffic and limit access to local traffic only until Georgia Highway 362 reopens. The bridge is rated as 3 tons and numerous dump trucks and fully loaded semi trucks have been using the crossing, placing additional strain on a structure that has a reduced weight limit. And Director Griffin is here to come up with a plan to solve the through traffic and only allow local traffic for the board's consideration.
Good. Like I said, they are pounding that bridge to death, especially with the closure of 362. Just asking for permission to close it off and leave it closed until their construction is done, so that they can travel back to the core. We would like to put up a couple gates on each end of the bridge to keep them from moving our barricades and just throwing them out in the swamp, so to speak. Make it a semi-permanent structure.
So if we close it until the construction's done, what's to keep people from still doing the same thing after we open that back up?
They're not. The main reason is that they're using it now is because 362 is closed. It's the next available road before having to go all the way to the red light and gate and come up 109. Saves probably 10 miles, maybe
I thought,
about 10 miles.
what, to the gate?
Yeah, from if they cut up Massengale for one,
Oh, it's just another mile up.
and then take a right.
Take a ride on 109 spur. But what's happening is the GPS is telling them to turn. I sat out there this weekend, and then I had a homeowner's call last Thursday. 8 dump trucks loaded went across that bridge.
I understand why we want to do it. I'm in favor of doing it. I'm just curious as to if it is a safety risk,
Yes.
then once they're done with that construction, that still doesn't mean large vehicles won't go across that
At
bridge,
that point, it becomes an enforcement issue by the DOT or the sheriff's office.
which is not happening now. So we can't believe it'll happen then. And
Well, that's true too. So, a lady turned in Friday with a low boy with a traco on the back of it, and a truck and everything. And luckily, one of the homeowners out there waved her down and said, "Where are you going?" She said, "My GPS said to go this way." He said, "That's a 3-ton bridge." So luckily, she was able to turn back on Clark Road and go back out. So they're just ignoring, and the sign said road closed, but she said, "My GPS said to turn here."
We got it posted at the very end, 3-ton bridge ahead. They're just ignoring.
But the biggest concern is, you're right, they're going to go down later on too. But with the excessive traffic, with that bridge was condemned 10 years ago, dropped to 3 tons. If we lose that bridge because they're working on this one, it'll take us 2 years to replace it, $1 million. And we'd have to drain that lake down probably to even rebuild it. So what we're trying to do is preserve what we got there till they open up. And then, yes, if somebody goes through the one day with something massive and it falls in, they went across something they shouldn't have, and we have to deal with it then. But the excessive traffic is what's going to damage the bridge.
so it sounds like we need a quick action now, and then we need a long-term action also.
Exactly.
because
You're right there.
We need to revisit this quickly.
Need a quick action now and enforcement later.
So,
Yeah, we need to start looking at what it's gonna take to get it up to par.
so out of my ignorance, is this a dirt or a paved road? Is there any way to put the metal beams like we have down at the wooden bridge to stop trucks from going through on each end? We're gonna have to do a lot of repair, and it sounds like a lot of money on that bridge anyway. So if we can put up a structure that will stop these large trucks from being able to access or go through, can we do something like that?
Sure.
But here's the next question. If those big trucks take that turn, is there a place for them to turn?
Nope. It's a lake on both sides. That's why they gotta pay attention to the signs.
Because that sounds like the only way if we put up something that's gonna impede something larger going
Yeah, it has to
through.
be semi-permanent because they're just gonna put up barrels and signs everywhere.
No, but I'm saying if we put up the barrier, the metal beam barrier, like we have at the bridge, it's gonna stop those trucks from going through there and only allow for the small.
We can build those off of the railing that's there probably. Just come straight up with I-beams, whatever width you want it to be.
An average vehicle, you know, a 250 or something, but there's big, you know.
There's gotta be
Somebody had
something
them all
done.
moved.
A sign and a barrel and a gate is not gonna do it.
Sure.
It's gotta be something that stops it.
Now, whatever y'all want me to put out there, we'll put out there.
Well, there are
Probably need
good-
to put a height restriction on it too. That would limit some of the size that's trying to
That
go.
would do it if you
The
put
weight, if you,
beam.
lower the height restrictions on it.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. We had something like the cover bridge where it's so high and so wide, that's gonna be.
8 foot tall,
Probably.
cover bridge, 8 foot tall and 8 foot wide.
Problem.
Now,
No, I know, we moved it in too.
but it is a 2-lane road, so if you do that, you'll be effectively turning the 1-lane road.
But now you two people
Right.
can't, you two people can't go across that bridge at the same time. You have to stop and let that person come over. So it's not wide enough for two
Well, you
people.
can have some of those big concrete things that are like 3 foot wide and
I can get some,
3 foot tall, and,
sure.
what, 6 foot long or something?
And they make them different lengths, 4 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot. And then you just go.
I don't see why we just don't put some of them.
You're just gonna have to have something that stops it, because like I said, the sign and the gates and the barrels are not gonna do it.
I just put some of them up till we decide if we want to make it a, 1 lane bridge, but
So-
we got, like I say, we gotta stop with traffic.
Can we do that at the entrance of the road so the truck can't even turn into it before we get down there and have a mess where they're off in the ditch and trying to turn around and get out of there and. So
Now
it needs to
there's
be
no
at
road
the first
turn.
50 feet.
Yeah, there's no.
The signs are up to 85 now that says,
I'm saying they're not following the signs and they got out and
Right.
moved the barriers we currently put in place over the
You're
weekend.
saying put the blocks right.
Put the
behind
blocks
Yeah.
right at the entrance of the road,
Make
so
it
they
two
can't
lane
even get on
wide,
it.
but nothing large can go through.
Leave a 8 foot gap in between, so to speak.
And unfortunately, if there are people who drive 18-wheelers home for work, they may have to find a different place to park.
Sure.
But
Which I don't think there's any homes on either side of the bridge right there.
Yeah.
It's mainly just them.
it's just cut through traffic.
Yeah.
Okay.
The GPS is sending them that way.
Well, I'm good for putting up the 3-sided barrier at each end to stop them from going through
Actually happened.
at the bridge.
But what do we do with the trucks that get there?
You want it before the.
We're on it before so they can't even turn onto the road because once the truck gets there, oh crap. Now what does he do? Back all the way back
That's what
out
I'm
of the
saying.
road?
I've been out there all
They gonna
day
try
today.
to-
There's no room to put one before they.
They're gonna try and turn around, they're gonna be in the ditch upside down.
Did you put the concrete that you were
At the
talking
beginning of the road.
about? At the beginning and
in the
then,
front of the road, so they can't turn down the road at all.
That's what I'm saying, so that's-
The only reason suggesting Brian mentioned earlier about a gate with a lock on it, if for some reason the county did have an emergency or code enforcement needs to, not code enforcement, but public works needs to go out there, they can unlock the gate, work it, lock it back. If we had an emergency, they could unlock, because the bridge is falling in, it's just we're trying to protect it from getting damaged from all the big stuff coming through.
because you may have your ambulance and the fire trucks could be
But
wide.
they're big, they're more than the weight limit for the bridge anyway. They
Fire
should be on
can't go
that
across the
bridge.
donut.
Brian, let me ask
Nobody-
you this, out of everything that we've said, in your years' experience of doing this, what would be a recommendation?
I'd love to put the blocks, like you said, up front. Problem is you run into the state route. It's gonna be really close to the state route. We can put them up there far enough to stop them from turning in. They're gonna turn in
Because of the state right away.
because they have 120 feet right there. So we can't put them on 85. So we'll have to
No.
recess it in.
Well, Well, at least he's right there where he can get out. He won't be down the road.
He won't have to back a quarter mile.
Right.
In order to get out. And then, like I said, for your local traffic, the homeowners, you just leave that 8 foot gap in between it. So that they can actually come through in the cars and get home, and it doesn't impede the people that are actually using the property.
And we'll put reflectors and all, make sure, okay.
We'll do them up real nice.
I'm okay.
Now I have to go get some because we don't have any laying around. I mean, I can go try to get it.
That expense should fall under his approval level, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But, so I'll make a motion, we do what you just said in the way you said it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
The funding on T-Splosh.
Fundamental, yes, absolutely, yes.
Number 2, approval to purchase a riding lawnmower for recreation.
Commissioners, the Recreation Department is requesting approval to purchase a new riding lawnmower. 3 quotes were obtained for consideration. One from SunSouth for a 2026 John Deere for $14,850. Advanced Power Equipment for a 61-inch Cheetah, 38 horsepower for $13,899. And Advanced Power Equipment for 61-inch Turf Tiger 2 for 38 horsepower, $14,399. I asked Randy, his recommendation is a 61-inch Turf Tiger, 38 horsepower from Advanced Power Equipment for $14,399 with funding out of SPLOS.
Didn't we just buy one last year?
Not
Oh,
a
we
lawnmower.
Talk about a lawnmower, we approved a trailer. Seemed like a
We talked
lawnmower.
about a lawnmower.
We talked about, but we didn't
Not
purchase
enough. They
one.
never came back with price.
Bought the Gator in the trailer last year.
We bought a trailer. The Gator was down in
Several.
Manchester.
Do you know why he prefers the Turf Tiger over a John Deere?
I did not. I asked him which one he was more comfortable with him. He said the Turf Tiger.
That's Skag, right?
Yes.
Well, I'll make a motion that we purchase the 61-inch Turf Tiger 2 from Advanced Power Equipment for $14,399 from SPLOST.
Second. All in favor?
I got one of those John Deere's in Texas I could bring over here. You got legally bought one, I gotta get rid of it.
Approval to use recreation funds in the recreation bank account to purchase fencing for baseball field at Lake Meriwether.
Just give it number 3, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Oh. Dang, I checked that one off too early. Approval to remove landscape at Lake Meriwether for youth baseball field recreation.
Commissioners, the Recreation Department is requesting approval to remove small diameter trees and shrubs at Lake Meriwether in the area where the layout for a youth baseball field has been marked. Public Works has assessed the site and confirmed that they were able to clear the necessary area to accommodate the outfield fencing for the proposed baseball field. This is property owned by the county and will need to be cleared to proceed with the project. I think it is 200 feet by 30.
At about 30 feet wide, 3 foot long, that section of woods. No pine trees over 10 years old.
And pictures are in your packet.
You guys are gonna do this work?
Yes. Also, build a little infield places. Do what we can this year. I know season's already here, so there's only so much we can do. Like we can play them.
We're gonna do it in-house and I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Just want to make sure before we start tearing stuff up at Lake Meriwether and take it out.
Approval to use recreation funds in the recreation bank account to purchase fencing for the baseball field. Recreation.
Commissioners, the Recreation Department is requesting approval to use funds from the Recreation Bank account at United Bank to purchase either permanent or temporary fencing for the baseball field that we just approved the landscaping for. That has been outlined at Lake Meriwether. The current balance in that account is $44,449.03.
Not with the 424 lawnmower that we just bought out of it.
That came out of SPLOST.
Okay.
This is out of
Sorry,
the
no.
Recreation account. So it actually went up about $2,000, almost $2,000 than what's on the issue paper. Staff is currently waiting quotes from both permanent and temporary fencing. At this time, staff estimate the cost to be between $15,000 and $20,000. This is to try to get the baseball field ready for the current baseball season.
Now, that price, that's gotta be permanent fence.
That's permanent fencing.
Okay.
I looked at some temporary and enough to cover 300 foot. You're spending 7,000 for
Yeah, I mean,
a
permanent
piece for it. The other option we do have is Lake Meriwether has a balance of 146,000 in the bank account, so we can split it between the two or
Well,
several different funding options available for it. But this would be for the 14U, and then we can buy temporary fencing to bring it in
softball.
for softball and stuff like that late.
I'll make a motion, we approve the. Wait a minute. 15, 20.
SPOS is the other funding we could do too. I mean, we could do
I'll make a
half of it
motion,
out of recreation, half of it out of SPOS.
I'll make a motion to approve with recreation funds funding the entire project. I'll second it.
All in favor?
We'll get that taken care of.
Approval of intergovernmental agreement, IGA for development plan review, permitting inspection and code enforcement, town of Lonoke.
Commissioner staff is requesting approval to enter into a new IGA between the county and the town of Lonoke. This item was contingent upon the execution of the fire station lease, which has now been received by the county. We have the original in-house. The anticipated volume of work associated with this agreement is not expected to have a significant impact on the current workload of planning and zoning code enforcement department. Legal has reviewed the IGA. Staff recommends approval of the agreement and authorization for the chairman to sign. This agreement will be for a term of 1 year with automatic annual renewals unless terminated by either party.
I'll make a motion to approve, I have a chairman, and second, third.
All in favor? Approval to reallocate T-Splot fund from the E911 parking lot to road striping.
Commissioner staff is requesting to allow allocation of the remaining balance from the 911 parking lot project to road striping. The parking lot for E91 was allocated $66,656. It came in just under $20,000. We're waiting on the invoice to pay it. That leaves $46,656 that we can use towards striping. We should have on a handwritten paper from Director Griffin how many miles. You're looking at 58 miles, almost 58 and a half miles at a cost of $36,580.55, and this will be done by Two Rivers.
These stop bars, that include the ones for the railroad tracks, we're doing those, CSX is fine with that.
So those, I don't know, on the railroads, we're gonna stop bars at stop signs.
But not the railroad, we don't know about
That's
that.
gonna be on.
Okay.
I'll reconfirm with the railroad. I have a contact with them.
Yellow and white.
Okay. And this is 36,580, and we've got 46, yeah. The 10,000 left, yes.
We're just reallocating funds that we've already allocated out.
I'll make a motion to approve that line by staff.
Second.
All in favor? Approval of courthouse roof project change order, River City Contracting. A, consideration and approval of change order number 3 or 4 annex.
Commissioners, Travis is here from River City. I'll let him go through the change orders, but this is for 3 or 4 on an annex, and it's either or we don't have to do either one, if I'm correct on that one. And Travis is handing out the change order log so you can see, and then the estimated contingency log where we're still under our original contingency amount, and that paperwork is coming to you short.
Thanks for being so.
One right here.
So I'll let Travis go through them. And Travis, these are listed in three or 4, and then 5, 6, and 7 as no reason.
Good evening. Okay, so change order, I was asked by the architect when we were in the field the other day to just get a price for the annex roof, just to see what that would be, because that is not in this scope of work. So proposed change orders 3 and 4 reflect that pricing. Number 3 is to install a metal seam roof at the annex, and number 4 is to install a 16-ounce copper standing seam roof there. So that's an either or number, and we can set that off to the side. We just wanted to know what that would cost. Plus, that was before the roof issue came up, We thought we might have some contingency left, but we'll get to that one in just a second. PCO number 5 is I've given you the backup for these as well in your packet. We excluded the point up of the masonry up at the top coping. You've got a stone level up top of the courthouse, and I added some pictures that we took from the scaffolding, and you can see most of the joints up there that you can't see from the ground need to be remortared and poured up. There's big gaps up there that were not taken into account in our original bid. Now, this is for the north and the west elevations only, because that's where we've got the scaffolding right now. So I would anticipate when we get to the south and the west, another change order for about the same amount. Also, I will point out, as you see, we're using contingency, so we have not put any overhead or profit markup on these that are in the contingency. We're just passing the cost through. And I've also given you the proposal that I got from the subcontractor as my backup. So I don't know if there's any discussion about that one.
So are you saying there will be more costs because you will add the markup or you're saying you're not doing that, it's just the pass-through cost?
This one's the pass-through cost because we're using contingency.
Okay.
If you want to add to the contingency, then we won't mark it up at all for any change orders going forward. But I'm expecting another change order for the south and the east that is not covered because we don't have the scaffolding there right now.
So you haven't had the opportunity to look, but you think maybe this again?
Good. Yes. Just letting you know.
It most likely will be.
Probably. All right, if there's no discussion about that, we'll move on to proposed change order 6. This is the big one. On February the 18th, we started removing the existing roof panels up on the roof. And when I was making my rounds the next morning, I looked up at the roof hatch and noticed that some of these slats in the roof had given way, and I could see the felt paper underneath. And so I stopped work and called the architect. We got a structural engineer involved, and they came out on Friday morning. And you can see I added a cover letter with the change order to try to explain the events that happened. So this first picture, you can see the felt paper, and then the next day you can see daylight when we took the felt paper off. So what was happening is you've got these 1x slats up there, or 2x slats, that are tongue and groove, that when nobody's on the roof, it doesn't really matter. There's nobody walking, no weight on them. But as you get up there and walk and move and work, those slats are giving way over time, especially because the structural bays up there, or the structural members, sometimes you've got over 5 feet, and that's what they recommend for this. And so as they're walking, those slats are giving way. And so what the structural engineer came back and recommended is that everywhere we have a bay that's over 5 feet, we come back with a 2x12, two 2x12 sandwiched together to bolster that roof, and then put OSB, 1/2-inch OSB on top from the top side. And then we'll build the roof up from there with your 1/2-inch cover board on your TPO or your metal roof as well. But that's what's driving this. It's a very labor intensive change order because of where it's at. We've got to get those 2x12s in the attic and then either weld those or bolt those off to the adjacent members. And in some cases, like when you go up the roof hatch, to the left is the jury deliberation room. You've got a lay-in ceiling right there. There's nowhere to walk. So we'll have to take all these slats off the roof, put the 2x12s in from the top, and then put all the slats back, and then put the plywood on top. So that's what's driving this change order, the cost of this change order to be so high.
How much was in contingency?
Originally, we had 150,000. Our first 2 change orders were deducted change orders. So I gave you also a contingency log. It's the second handout here. that shows if we approve each one of these outstanding change orders, we'll still have $454 in contingency.
Don't save us too much there now.
Now, the one thing I will point out, because I did not have these costs for this meeting, I do not have the structural engineers cost yet. That won't be significant, but it will cause us to go over on the contingency, but I did not have that for this meeting, so I just brought what I had. Those are the only two change orders that I'm aware of. Of course, when you get into a renovation project, that's why we recommend contingency, because you really don't know what you got till you get there. Because this was totally unforeseen with the roof. But it is a structural issue. And it's probably, over time, what caused some of the leaking issues on the third floor.
So originally had 150 and then there were savings that went back into it. Is that what I'm seeing at
Yes, sir.
82?
Yeah, right,
Okay.
correct. And so the last change order, when the original scope was to waterproof the roof, just roll a weatherproofing on it. We had already approved the first deduct was to go to the metal standing seam roof. When we got up there, there was conduit on the roof for your uplights. That change order takes all that conduit out, runs it all under the attic, which is the way it should have been done the first time, and rewiring it all and then coming up from the attic. So you won't have any conduit on your roof exposed to the elements.
So basically, we need this is minus the annex roof option.
Right. No,
180.
184 just set to the side for them.
So we need to approve additional funds of 181,746 to maintain contingency. Or approve spending this out of contingency with no more contingency left for other options.
This is change order 5, correct?
It's
5,
5,
6,
6, and
7.
7.
I don't think we have a choice.
No, we got.
I make a motion to do change order 5, 6, and 7 from the contingency.
You second it?
He seconded.
All right, well, I said 5, 6, and 7.
5, 6, and 7, he said set to the side, so.
Mr. Chairman, if you read them back out, we'll table 3 and 4 and then we'll go through 5, 6, and 7 to approve.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's 5, 6, 7 out of contingency.
Yeah.
That's what his motion was.
That's what my motion.
And that way we can just follow through yeah.
So
So
he
nobody,
had a motion to do 5, 6, and 7. He seconded it. All in
All in
favor?
favor?
And then we'll make a motion to
Make
table
motion,
item
table
3
3
and
and
4.
4.
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Travis, before you end, you mentioned if we added to the contingency, there will be no markup. Now we're anticipating another 35,000. Do we need to increase our contingency to avoid that markup?
Need to think about it, yes.
So at the next meeting will be okay to do that, or we need to do that
Sure.
now? I mean, 2 weeks is plenty of time.
Yeah.
24.
We put that on the next agenda to discuss increasing.
That way it saves us a little bit of money from the markup cost if we
It
raise.
says on that 3 and 4 annex roof, is that where the records are stored off the?
It is.
In the
I
back.
thought we just got that roof PPOs or something.
No,
Metal roof, I believe.
that roof is TPO. That is in our scope. I'm talking about the copper roof at the very back. I'm calling it annex. I may be calling it the wrong thing. That little structure at the back.
This is on
It's got the metal.
this is on the east side
Correct.
that's holds the, I know we had them doing the work at the jail and they went up and did something on the courthouse.
You're talking about clerk of court records.
Yeah,
Is that the same thing you're talking about? It's the only annex part.
The low roof, we just put a new TPO roof on it, 6 mil TPO roof on it. But behind that, you've got a metal roof area. I have not been to that area at the courthouse yet, and I thought that was part of the annex. Is that
That little structure by itself.
the little structure in the back?
Yeah, it's right on the corner. The little structure when you headed towards the courthouse. you
this
got
is
that
on like
structure.
the northeast corner of the courthouse.
That's correct.
Outside of the clerk of court's office, and that's where the records are, I think.
It's only
It is back to that.
So we'll have all that.
I'll
discussed
check
at
with
the
it
next
for
meeting,
us. Yes,
and
I'll
then
check with
discuss
it.
increasing contingency at the same time.
Right.
But I thought when we regrouped the jail, we said we needed something down there, and they went down there and did that. I don't know.
The architect just asked me to get that price so that this roof would match the new roof on the courthouse.
Okay.
So it's just something for you to think about for later. You know, as we're roofing the courthouse, this roof would match.
Right.
Yeah, we want them to match, yeah.
All right, approval for issue RFP for LRA projects.
Commissioners, I don't know if we need to table this one so we can get a estimated scope for the LA projects and have staff prioritize which projects are listed during the work session and bring it back. Or the board would like to make a decision on issuing RFPs for a couple of roads we discussed.
There was
in the
only
work
4
session.
we discussed, right? So we can get an RFP on all 4 of those and then we can prioritize that.
Yes, J.W. Dunn, Bridge, John Brown, Pigeon Creek, and Dallas Mill.
So we can do RFP for all 4 of those. And then in the meantime, while we're waiting on that, we can get a prioritization from Public Works of which road is the most critical. Rank them by
can.
priority, right?
Yes, I just need to know, do we want to do separate RFPs for each separate one or one RFP for all 4?
I'll do
Yes and
separate
yes.
because
Yes, probably all 4 are going to be more than what we have in the funds, but it would be nice to know what is the rate for all 4 versus doing them individually because we can save money.
I say put it out for all 4 to begin with.
Would
and
be an alternative.
Well, put it out as all
Put it as
4 with,
alternative.
if each company wants to bid on all 4,
Right.
then they can give us one
And they can
price.
give us an individual.
Right.
for each road.
That's the best way to do it. Because some may not want to bid on everything.
Right.
So I put that in form of a motion.
Okay,
All in favor?
staff will get that written up.
If we go back to these change orders, I think we left out change order 7, right?
No,
said
Conduit, you said 7?
Five, six,
I
five,
just
six,
want to make
seven.
sure we got it, okay.
Consideration to increase credit card limit with Colony Bank.
Commissioners, our current limit with Elon Financial is 25,000. The county decided to switch to Colony Bank. We have sent in the required documents. The staff is requesting to increase the credit line to 40,000. Contingent on Colony Bank come back with that credit limit. This would be managed by the county administrator and the finance director. And the reason for this request is that travel has gained so much or has increased so much. Just like a Savannah trip, just for a 2-day, it's gonna ring $1,000.
Gonna read how much?
About $1,000 for a 2-day trip with a hotel and a conference.
25,000 don't cover stuff we're doing now.
25,000 last year when the commissioners went to the annual conference, the credit card, we had to send a payment overnight because we didn't have anything on the credit
I
card.
remember having approved that, yeah. But it was only 3 or 4 commissioners went, so that's $4,000 or $5,000. I mean, so what kind of a balance are we carrying on the card?
for other departments.
Other
too,
departments.
Using it too, to go to their trainings,
Yeah.
and so their cards are being, their hotel rent.
Daily purchase is only for emergency purchases.
Right.
We one-off vendors, we don't send a check to. But if it's a vendor we send a check to, we send the check to them.
When do we, since we are a budgetary board as well, correct?
Mhm.
When do we review that in the finance report, the credit card statements?
It's budgeted under administration. It should be within
Yeah.
that budget amount.
The ordinance states that the board at any time can change the limit
Yeah,
from
I
time to time.
understand that. I'm just, to me, it seems odd that $25,000 wouldn't suffice on a 30 to 60-day window. Maybe I'm just naive.
There's been months-
Spend that much on mine, so.
There's been months where I've been down to 4,000 and have an overnight check. That's why we went to switch to Colony because we can take one straight to Manchester and avoid paying those $30, $40 overnight fees.
I have no problem with it, because I know that it does take it sometimes. I've been here a long time and yeah, we've had to take checks and overnight things many times for, there are a lot of departments that utilize the cards. So I have no problem with it, but I would like to get a monthly statement, maybe at the end of the month, each last meeting of the month, for us to get the most up-to-date credit card statement with us so we can monitor too, just to look at it.
I can do that.
Yep,
Yeah,
as part of the finance report.
Statements. Spreadsheet showing how much was used or it's not. Give them a copy of the statement.
Yeah, that's the most accurate way.
You can't mess that up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just not trying to check, just to make sure we're holding within there. I'm okay with it as long as that's part of it.
I'm in favor if we get that, yes.
So I put that in form of a motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
And we'll monitor it. If it looks like it's gonna drop to 30, William at Colin told me I can go in and monitor and the board, it can reset it. If 40 is too much and it needs to be 30, we can always adjust it.
Consideration to purchase HX 85 mulching head. Oh, the mulching head for the HX 85 of Public Works.
Yes, sir. Using T-Splosh, this was discussed during the work session.
30,000.
Yes, sir, 30,000.
He left.
He did. He said 30,000 would get the.
That's right.
Get it back up and
where it
running.
needed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I make a motion to allow for the 30,000 max for the mulching head HX 85 out of T-Splosh.
Second.
All in favor? All right, number 11, consideration of work session with the airport.
Commissioners, the Airport Authority had a meeting this morning and they were requesting a work session with the Board of Commissioners. And their next meeting will be April 13th. Yeah, it's the same meetings are. They adopt the same schedule we have. Airport Authority. But they're willing to come on the 24th if the board would like to set a work session for the Airport Authority, or we can do it at the 13th. Whatever works for the board. They're open to whatever time.
They need.
Maybe an hour.
Do like we did today before the next meeting come in.
That's what I'm looking at the calendar.
I think they were fine with the 24th if that would work, or the 13th, either one.
I'm good on the 24th, except the afternoon 4 or after. 4 o'clock or after.
That's good.
Okay.
So March 24th. Do it March 24th.
Yeah, at 4 p.m., 4 to 4:30, anytime in that.
4:30, if they don't.
4:30.
Yeah.
Then
So at 4:30.
Take a 4-minute break and we get on to 6.
Put that in form of a motion 4:30 on the 24th.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All right, we'll notify the Airport Authority.
And then, so I did speak with the IDA and we're going to do a work session with them also, right? Joint meeting and executive session.
I will bring that up in executive session.
Report from ACCG Legislative Coordinator, Vice Chairman Smith.
I'd like to say I went to the legislative convention last Wednesday and Thursday downtown Atlanta. And it was great going in there and met the governor, and Burt Jones was there and the Speaker of the House. They spoke and talked about some of the bills coming up. It was also crossover day, so that was when things were leaving the House or the Senate and going to the other. So I wrote down a few of the bills that made it through crossover day. Even if they didn't make it and it was something we've heard about, we can look because they still might be able to be passed before the end of legislation. But these are the ones that have passed at least one of the sections. House Bill 275 revises the notice of assessment, and it's so that when you send out the tax assessment letters at the beginning of what your house taxes are anticipated to be, it's supposed to be more understandable for taxpayers and leave out some of the information that they don't understand, but break it down to simplify it. House Bill 961 is the billing for network out of network ambulance services. They have had two bills. One actually was in the Senate and it passed, and a slightly different one in the House passed, but it's going to require insurance companies will have to pay the counties back for the ambulance services. One is at 300% of Medicare reimbursement rate, and the one the Senate passed is 325% of the Medicare reimbursement rate. So those are both progressing easily, so hopefully that'll help us out soon. House Bill 1243, they are making a constitutional amendment, and if ratified by voters, it would authorize the General Assembly to create the fund to help counties fund the Next Gen 911. So we can apply. They don't know where the money is going to come from yet, but they're working on trying to figure out how to get it for us. House Bill 587, they are working on establishing an animal cruelty database that will require prosecuting attorneys to make a searchable database by January 1st of 2027, and it will be funded by the state. If you've been charged with animal cruelty, your name will be almost like a sex offender registry. And Senate Bill 527, has crossed over, and those who are going to qualify to run for sheriff must be certified peace officers. That's not currently the rule. So interesting to know. And Senate Bill 382 is a mandatory statewide base year homestead. They are looking at removing the opt-out for House Bill 581. So we're watching that carefully for our county. That would not be a great fit, but we're watching that, but it has made crossover.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Report from county administrator.
Commissioners, we had a leadership Meriwether on Thursday, March 5th. That was here at the office. Attended a water and sewer work session. Been doing weekly updates with Mark III, our new insurance provider. They're looking to do open enrollment hopefully in May or June, a little bit earlier this year. Did a presentation call with iWork, with Public Work. They did some upgrades on the software where they can input actually the street ratings that Brian did. So hopefully we can implement that into the iWork system. Been doing deputy county administrator interviews, recreation director interviews that have taken a majority of my week last week and before this meeting. Airport meeting today. Got word from the sheriff's office. We'll be getting 3 more pickup trucks that need to be painted white. We have one that is the last one from the first batch is currently being painted white now. The code enforcement truck, like I said, is waiting on the ABS part that is on back order. We don't know when that one's going to get here. And then we have a administrative truck, the higher mileage one is sitting back here for me to drive around in the county. So I will be checking in on apartments using the county vehicles. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Report from county commissioner, Commissioner Fairgill.
I don't have anything to add.
Mr. Worsley.
I'd just like to thank everyone for the job they're doing. A lot of positive feedback about the Lemay projects that were finished, Stovall Road, and a lot of citizens comment positively about that. And then the new paving projects that Public Works is doing, I've seen a lot of positive comments there. So good job. Thank you, everyone. Let's keep moving forward.
Vice Chairman Smeltzer.
I just want to thank the citizens for coming and being supportive of things going on in the county. If you didn't know, our boys, if you didn't hear earlier, our 14U boys were the state runner-up at the GRPA, and our 10U girls were state champs this year. And I'm so proud of our youth and seeing what's going on with them.
Commissioner King.
Just thank everybody for what they're doing, and I've heard a lot of good compliments throughout social media with Brian and their crew last week. They paid they finished Beulah Evans out to Luthersville Road, but those subdivisions back there, they paid 3 different roads back there. All that was done in 1 week's time. And people really appreciate that they're seeing. I've seen people go, man, we're finally seeing something for our tax dollars. So that's nice to hear positive things, and hopefully we'll continue doing that.
Well, I'd just like to thank everybody for all the staff and all workers and employees for what you do. And I'd like to thank the constituents. And the roads are getting paved and the courthouse is getting fixed. And I mean, we finally, like everybody says, we finally getting somewhere. And that's all I have. Report from the county attorney.
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing to report unless the board has any questions.
Future meetings and notices, Tuesday, March 24th, 2026, regular meeting at 6 p.m. Also a work session that day at 4:30, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Monday, April 13th, 2026, regular meeting at 6 p.m. Tuesday, April 28th, 2026, regular meeting at 6 p.m. And Monday, May the 11th, 2026, regular meeting at 6 p.m. Do we have any need for executive session?
We do. You might well just do all 4.
I'll make a motion. We're going to executive session for litigation, personnel, tax matters, and real estate. Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
We'll go back in a regular session.
Second.
All in favor? In executive session, we decided we're gonna have a joint meeting with City of Greenville. Is that correct?
Yes. And
March the 23rd at 4 p.m.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? No further business come before the board.
No, sir.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?